Okay, let's try this again. Oh shit, won't fall. Alright. So what the fuck happens to me when I'm driving to work after dropping my mother off at her work? What the fuck happens to me, huh? Well, I'll tell you. I am driving actually slightly below the speed limit at about 59. The speed limit's 60. Okay? Never one to truly drive below the speed limit. I like to be a healthy, 5, maybe a little more over. Today was different. Something was different about today. I had my glasses on. I could see perfectly fine. Everything was perfect. I remember I kept looking down. I felt like I was going too fast, but I kept looking down at the speed. I was only going 59, 58, 59. I did try to pick up, I don't want to go to speed limit, I want to go to the flow of traffic. So, I did pick up the speed a little bit. But I felt like, this is fast. I don't know. Normally I feel I'm going very slow. But I felt this is fast tonight. Something just felt off tonight. So, anyway, going about 59, 60, on a 60. And this mutant decides, I don't even know what street it was. I think it was just after the expressway. Maybe it was just before. I can't remember. It's coming. I'm going this way. He's coming this way, and he has no appropriate time to make this right-hand turn. I'm right there. I'm up on the in the intersection. Approaching the intersection. And this mutant decides he's just gonna slowly, average speed, turn into my lane. Instead of waiting for it to be safe, he thought maybe I can make it, Anyway, so I'm almost gonna hit this jackass. So I have to go into the left lane. Otherwise, I'm brake checking somebody. So he's still making his turn as I'm approaching him, so I have to just make a quick instinct to go in the left lane. Is there anyone next to me? Is there anyone right up my ass who's gonna be next to me? No time to react. It's either I hit this guy or take a chance that there's, I look over, it seems fine. I can't check everything. I can't do a full evaluation of my surroundings. This moron is about to get rear-ended by me. So I successfully merge and honk my horn at this guy. I lay on the horn. What a jackass. I lay on the horn, and then he wants to lay on his horn back at me. Excuse the fuck out of me? What? He wants to lay on his horn back at me when he just cut me off. So what? Of course, I didn't stop. I didn't stop laying on my horn. What the fuck? So what does this jackass decide to do? Not only did he cut me off, I get in front of him. I don't go in front of him. I don't merge lanes in front of him. I'm in the left lane. He is in the right lane. And I am in front of him in the left lane while he is still in the right lane. Why does this mutant have the audacity to merge into the left lane behind me and then merge? Oh, I guess maybe there was a car maybe in front of him. He couldn't get in front of me or something. So then he merges into the oncoming traffic lane and he guns it. He guns it in this 1990 whatever vehicle he's driving. And he guns it, cuts me off again. I guess. Cuts me off again. I'm pissed. Now I'm real fucking pissed. So what do I do at this point? See, now it's foggy. I'm trying to recollect everything here. He's in front of me. I get into the right lane because now this psycho he's fucking bonkers. So I get into the right lane and I'm going. I gotta get out of this situation. And then I get a clear chance to go in front of him and I do it. I do it. And then he goes to the right of me. And then I think I went back to the right because there's no way I'm going to let this jackass overtake me again. This mutant. So from there, there's a car. He's, for some reason, back in the right lane. He's behind me. There's a car to my left. I make sure to go at that car's pace. That way, he's not getting in front of anybody unless he's a jackass again and decides to go into the oncoming traffic lane. Anyway, he's riding my ass. Not a good idea. Because there's people in front of me that need to turn. So I have to slow down fast enough that I'm not going to rerun these people. But I feel like he's not giving me enough time to do that. Anyway, he did. He obviously had the space because I did not brake check. I slowed down so I wouldn't hit these people turning. He never hit me, which is good. It's happened 2 or 3 times that people had to turn and I had to slow down. And at this point, I'm no longer next to the car in the left lane. So I'm thinking to myself, at what point is this mutant going to go into the left lane and try to overtake me again? Anyway, he's just riding my ass the whole time. I finally get to work. Well, what I like to do is there's a parking lot that I have to park in. That's where I am right now. There's an empty parking lot next to it. I like to go in that empty parking lot and drive down it. And I just like to do a little, survey of the area. And then I turn back around. When I turn back around, tell me why this guy is parked as if he's trying to block my way. I don't need to get out. Why are you blocking me? I don't need to get out. I go beside him and literally pull up in front of him because this is where I need to be, where I am right now in this exact spot. So then he pulls around. I don't know what he does. He pulls around. So now I'm facing this way. He's facing this way. And I can hear him yelling out his fucking window. He's yelling something. I don't know what he's saying. I have my window up. I'm yelling at Siri. I'm saying, stop fucking recording. Hey Siri, record. Doesn't stop recording. I don't know why. I should sue Apple for that. Because it was an emergency. I needed recorded. Would have been great to listen back to that audio. Didn't work. And then I couldn't turn on the camera. The stupid front-facing camera wouldn't turn on. Because Apple doesn't recognize it as an Apple part. It's an Apple part. I dropped my phone a couple of times. Maybe it's dislodged. I don't know. If there's a camera in the holder attached to the device, who cares if it's not an Apple camera or if it is? This is. And now it's falsely thinking that it's not and it didn't record. Whatever. I'm just so pissed about that. I needed to record and Apple iPhone did not execute the assignment that I needed executed. So now I have no recording. I have a dash cam recording, which I hope it heard me talking when I got out of the car. So anyway, we're both facing this way. So this guy turns his car around. So now his window is facing my window. So I'm like, okay, well, this jackass isn't going to leave me alone. So I open up the door. And to my surprise, he's relatively calm. I thought he was going to... I was prepared for the worst. I had my battle face on and everything. I was just ready to go at his throat. I thought he was going to go at my throat. I thought, oh, this guy wants to fight. Okay? Let me tell you something, okay? He chose the wrong bitch on the right day. All right? I was so ready for whatever. Not to assault somebody, but just whatever he had ready to come at me, I was ready. Whatever it was. Whether it was verbal, if he was going to step out of his vehicle, that's all I'm saying. I wouldn't have touched him, I wouldn't have done anything. I'm just saying, I would have been ready. Or whatever. Whatever happened. Anyway, this guy's got a cigarette in his hand. He's looking at me. He says, "Are you drunk?" He says that to me. He says, "Are you drunk?" I was beside my mouth dropped. My jaw, I said, "Are you fucking crazy?" Are you fucking crazy? That's what I said to him. I said, are you fucking crazy? I said, what do you mean are you nuts? You're nuts. And then he said, oh, what did he say? This is why I wish it was recorded, because I was just so taken. He asked me if I was drunk. What do you mean, am I drunk? Anybody who's drunk. Oh yeah, he said, well, you were laying on your horn at me like I cut you off or something. I said, you jackass, you did. I said, you did cut me off. Actually, I said, you made an unsafe turn. You put yourself in danger. You put others in danger. You made an unsafe turn when it wasn't safe to do so. I said, you got to be more careful. He was talking quite calmly, I gotta say. So I had this weird rage thing where I was quite heated, but at the same time, I wasn't super defensive because he wasn't coming at me with anything, which was great. So I was able to talk to him like this, like surprisingly, I didn't have to yell at him, but I said, listen, you're nuts. I said, you are nuts. I said, are you fucking crazy? I said a couple of things like that. Anyway, it's like you were laying on your horn like I cut you off or something. And I said, well, you made an unsafe turn. You literally did. I almost hit you. I had to go into the left lane where I could have hit somebody else, but it was a last minute decision. I had to either hit you or risk hitting somebody else in the left lane if I couldn't have seen them in my blind spot. I didn't have time to explain that I couldn't fully, I just had to mirror left window and that's it. There was no over the shoulder, whatever. And so I said, you made an unsafe turn. You did cut me off. And he said, well, you were doing the same thing. And I said to him, I said, you went into oncoming traffic. I didn't do that. And then he had more to say. And I was done at that point. I said, you're fucking nuts. I said, go, drive safely, finish your cigarette, have another cigarette, make sure you get to bed, and drive safely. I remember saying that a couple of times. I kept telling him, make sure you're driving safely. Don't be an asshole on the road. I told him to have 2 cigarettes. I told him to take a nap, go to sleep when he gets home. And that was it. He seemed to have more to say. I had no more to say to him. It was just back and forth. It was, well, you, blah, blah, blah. No, I did not. I did not you went 110 on a 60 in oncoming traffic lane to overtake me. And when I honked my horn at you because you made the unsafe turn and cut me off the way you did, you retaliated by laying your horn back at me and then taking me over again. Who does that? Who does that? Who does that? I'm asking. I need to know who does that. Because I don't do that. I don't go driving around cutting motherfuckers off and then when they get mad at me, I'm gonna do it 2 or 3 more times. Fuck me to tears. Honestly. This mutant. Nobody gives a fuck about anybody else on the road. You gotta be prepared for the people driving around you to do the most insane, unpredictable shit. And that's the only way you can keep yourself safe, is just assume everybody around you is a psycho nutcase gonna do the most insane shit on the road you've ever seen before. And then some. And then some. So basically, I took my keys out. He was still sitting here. I went up to the door. I had the wrong keys in my hand. I had to put the keys back. I had to go through all my pockets. This guy's watching me. He's watching me going through all my pockets. Oh, okay. Got my keys out. I had to find the key. Okay. Turn the phone. Then he leaves. Also, because my stupid ass phone camera wouldn't turn on, I had to take out Snapchat to take a picture of this jackass's license plate. Didn't even, not a chance, not a shot in hell that I got that picture. It's so blurry. And it was, by the time he had turned around and reversed, it was a side picture. Didn't get the license plate. I got a blurry, fuzzy image of this guy's shit-ass 1997, whatever the fuck. So, I went inside, I did push-ups just to get rid of the excess adrenaline, because what else do you do with that type of energy? You know, use it to your benefit, use it to your advantage. So that was it. That was it. I have nothing more to say. So pissed off. Not anymore. Now I don't care. Have a salad with me. I'm eating a nice, fresh, healthy salad. You know what else I'm pissed off about? So I go onto the dash cam because I want to look at this footage. Was I going 59, 60? I'm pretty sure I was. Okay. When Jackass overtook me and then I tried to get in front of him, how fast did I go? Because I'm really hoping I wasn't a jackass like he was. At that point, I was only paying attention and getting away from him and not, staying at a reasonable speed. It's always the priority when I'm operating a vehicle, but in that instance, to get away from the psychopath is what I thought was a priority. It took precedence at that time. So I thought maybe the dash cam caught me yelling, not even yelling, but, well, I guess kind of yelling at him, telling him that he was a psycho. Like, oh yeah, and you know what he asked me? He says, how old are you? I thought that took me back too. So first he asked me if I'm drunk. That took me back a minute. I said, what the fuck's the matter with you? What do you ask me if I'm drunk for? And then he said, how old are you? I said, what the fuck? That's what I said to him. I said, what the fuck? I said, don't ask me that. How about I ask you how old you are? How much do you weigh? What's your mother's maiden fucking name? Don't fucking ask me how old I am. What the fuck business is that to you? What? What kind of investigative question is it you want to know how old I am? Okay. No. Imbecile. Anyway, now I got it all off my chest. That was the part. Don't ask me how the fuck old I am. What the fuck do you mean, how old am I? Don't worry about it. How old are you? How old are you? Huh? He looked like, you know how some people, they have a look and then they have like the real age. He looked like his real age was probably in his 40s, late 40s, but he was a smoker. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. He was a smoker. He had this beater car, kind of balding, maybe not. I don't know. It was that short. It's when you're bald and you cut your hair really short. And so like he was aged. It was like 50s, 60s. But somebody in their 60s, it was almost like he had too much energy to be in his 60s, but the look, of just aging yourself. It looked like he was probably in his 40s, but because he smoked and did whatever, smoked in his fucking car. I don't know. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter how old he is. I don't fucking care how old he is. Why you ask me how old I am? Don't ask me that. Don't ask me how old I am. Then you ask me if I'm drunk. Yeah, I'm drunk and I'm holding this dumbass conversation with you. Because that's what drunk people do. They just randomly honk at people. If he genuinely... And you know what I'm thinking? He asked me this too. He said, where did you turn out of? I said, what? Because in my mind... Am I getting gaslit right now? He's the one who fucking turned. I was going straight. I said, what? He said, where did you come from? I said, I came from the hospital. I said, I was driving straight down Walker. You turned in front of me. I was going straight. You turned. And so now in my head, I'm thinking to myself, did he genuinely? And I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because he was so calm when he pulled up next to me. It was not what I was expecting. did he genuinely not see me for some reason? He genuinely, in his mind, thought he made a safe right turn. He thought the way was clear, and then out of nowhere, I was just, I don't know, behind him, and then turning, I don't know, because at first I thought, what an idiotic question to ask me if I'm drunk. What a stupid question to accuse me, to say that I just honked at you as if you cut me off when he did. And then the third thing, when he asked, where did I come from? Where did I turn out of? I didn't fucking turn out of anywhere. I came fucking straight at you. You turned in front of me. So these three indicators tell me that he didn't see me. Either he's an idiot, and it's one of those like narcissistic things where you can't be in the wrong. Or B, he genuinely did not see where I came from. I was in the right lane. I was going, so I don't know how you couldn't have seen me. Headlights work. Everything works, okay? SUV vehicle, okay? So it's giving me a little peace of mind to think, you know what? Maybe I'm the asshole in this situation. Maybe he didn't see me genuinely. Maybe in his mind, I came out of thin fucking air. And he has no idea what's going on. I was just a random guy who puffed out of thin air, honked at him, and he had no idea why. Because he did everything right in his mind. If he genuinely did not see me, and this is the scenario that he is living, I'm okay with that. I can understand that. I can sympathize with that. A genuine mistake. And you know what? In that case, too, I would, even though I'm not in the wrong at all, he didn't look hard enough, I would be happy to say, oh, I'm sorry you didn't see me. I'm sorry. And I am so sorry that I thought you were an asshole who just kind of overtook me 3 fucking times. But, you know, even the first time, it was just, I guess, a misunderstanding. You genuinely didn't see me. No problem. Okay, that kind of makes me feel a little bit better. Other than that, he did overtake me a second, and I think he tried a third time. Gonna have to look at the footage, because I have the dash cam. Anyway, so that gives me peace of mind that A, he was relatively calmly talking to me. He wasn't screaming his head off. And B, those 3 questions, those 3 moronic questions he asked, indicate to me that he genuinely had no idea where I came from. And hey, we all make mistakes. It's okay. The chasing me fucking down was weird, because when I went inside, he went the opposite direction. So he did not need to go as far as I went. I don't know where he went. He obviously... You wanted to talk about me having road rage. Don't have road rage, he said. You went into oncoming traffic. You chased me all the way down to my work. I don't know. Because he ended up going the other way again. So he went an unnecessary distance. I'm surprised how calmly he was talking. You know, it was kind of like, it wasn't like a calm. It was kind of a condescending calm talk, but it wasn't screaming. It wasn't screaming. Me, I was defensive. What the fuck are you talking? Don't ask me my fucking age. Okay, don't ask me if I was drinking. Do I look like I was drinking? Do you think this is how people who drink and drive behave or react? I don't know. I personally don't think so. I think drunk drivers just crash. I don't know. how a drunk driver behaves. Maybe he's dealt with them. Maybe he's been one. Not the point, not the case. The case of the matter is, maybe he genuinely didn't know. Maybe I'm the asshole. And I can live with that. In reality, to an observer, he's the fucking asshole. But maybe in his mind, he did not see me. And hey, I'm okay with that. I would prefer that to be the situation. I would prefer him to not be an asshole and deliberately overtake me the first time, even though we did it 2 more times after, deliberately. If he genuinely did not see me, and then I was just some crazy lunatic who honked his horn at him, fine, so be it. But don't ask me my age. Why did you want to? And that seemed to take him back too. I said, "Are you fucking crazy?" I said, "Don't ask me that." And then I don't know. I said, "I wish everything was recorded." But anyway, that's it. I'm gonna finish my salad here. It's almost done. Just a couple of bites left, and that's it. I feel better now. I feel better. I got this off my chest. I'm gonna get a water bottle now.